Okay, first video. The yummy, my favorite thing is dark chocolate cake. So this cake, I eat it at night before I go to bed because it's not a lot of calories. And it's probably, I want to say when I calculated everything I put in it, it's the equivalent of 2 points Weight Watchers. But you should see the amount of cake that you get. And it's all protein. There's no fat in it. There's no carbs, not much carbs. So it's more of like a protein chocolate cake instead of fat or carbs. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've read Trim Healthy Mama. So the first thing I'm doing is cracking an egg, and I only use the white part of the egg because if you know anything from Weight Watchers, 3 egg whites is 1 point and 1 egg is 2 points. There's a lot of fat in the yolk, and it's a good fat. It's not that I don't eat eggs, but if I'm very hungry at night before I go to bed and I want a piece of chocolate cake, I don't want to eat a fatty chocolate cake. So I do that. I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. Hang on. And I'm back. So now I have an egg white. Now what I do, I have a spoon that's about the equivalent of a tablespoon. I put about a teaspoon of baking powder. I use Rumford baking powder because Rumford doesn't have any aluminum in it. And then I use, and then I put this. You do not have to put this if you don't have it. I just like to put it because of the protein. It's peanut flour. It's defatted peanut flour. 1 serving of this has 16 grams of protein in it. So this is really good stuff. And so I put it in my chocolate cake because it's protein. It's not fat or carbs. So I put about a tablespoon of that in there. And then what I do is, this is my favorite cocoa powder. If you're making a chocolate cake, dark chocolate, and you want it real chocolatey, I would recommend the Costco. This is the Costco. It's called Rodell. You get it at Costco. Anyway, I put 2 heaping tablespoons of cocoa in here. So far we've got an egg white, a tablespoon of peanut flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 heaping tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then what I'm going to do is, I buy this from, I think I get this at Vitacost. It's a xylitol sweetener. Xylitol sweetener doesn't raise your blood sugar, so all these videos I'm making for you are good for diabetics too, just so you know. So anyway, it's not as sweet as sugar, so you have to use more. But my experience with chocolate cake, because if you like dark chocolate, it's already kind of bittery. So if you add stevia only to it, then the stevia is going to make it even more kind of bittery. This taste is not as good. But if you do this, I put 2 big tablespoons of xylitol, and then I put a dash of this stevia. I buy this stuff. I'm going to try to get a close-up. It's called Cal Pure Stevia. This is really good stuff, and you don't need much. This jar will last me like 4 or 5 months. It's definitely worth the investment. So I just put a little dash of that, like that's about a dash, and that's it. And then I'm going to add water and mix it, and I'm going to show you the consistency. Okay, you just have to add enough water to mix it where it looks like a cake mix. And then you have to taste it. You have to see if it's sweet enough for you, because it might, if it's not sweet enough, you need to add more xylitol. If it's too sweet, well, nothing's too sweet for me. I like sweet, so it's all good. Now this cake is a little bit harder to get going, but as you can see, we're getting there. Notice I didn't put any flour in here. All this is cocoa powder and peanut flour, and you don't even need the peanut flour if you don't have it, so you can start doing this right away. But you do need some sort of a sweetener that does not raise your blood sugar, like truvia or stevia or erythrytol or xylitol, something like that. Okay, so this is the consistency that it looks. Okay, it can even be a little bit thicker than this. It's okay, but this is really good. I will microwave this for 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to taste it just to make sure that it's sweet enough for me. Perfect. And then I've already made one, so this is what it looks like. Now, my biggest sin is I use the microwave. You need to, I did buy a convection oven and I am using that now, but for time purposes, I'm doing it in the microwave because it's a lot faster. I have tried baking these cakes in the oven and they just come out dry and yuck. And something's got to taste good for me to eat it. So I'm sorry, I can't eat it like that. So anyway, they're yummy and moist in the microwave, and that's how I started doing this diet. Now that I know what I'm doing and I can go more in depth, I am trying to weed out the microwave and use only the convection oven. And when I do put this in a convection oven, it tastes just as moist and just as delicious as it does in a microwave. So if you're already used to using a convection oven, then I would just recommend you use a convection oven and do this. But this is what the cake looks like. I just kind of have to pound on it. And there you go. You see how big it is? And then what I did, look what I did. I eat it with Greek yogurt, and I buy the plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. You can get any brand, Walmart brand, Meijer brand, but this is so good. Moist chocolate cake with Greek yogurt. And you know what makes it more yummy? Put raspberries on top. And you can be a diabetic and still eat this. And I eat this whole thing as a snack. This is how much I eat. That's just my dessert. I'll eat like a meal that's probably 2 plates like this. I just have a big appetite. That's, I can't help it. But as long as I'm eating stuff that's good for me, I'm still seeing myself drop weight. So I'm so thankful to God for that. So that's my recipe, how you make a chocolate cake. Okay, thank you.